We absolutely never, ever know what is coming around the corner. I feel grateful that that's the experience I got to have with him. And I don't think that experience would have changed had I known. I think that was one of the most frustrating days I'd had at work in a long time. I remember it was really close to Christmas. I had this huge report to do for Ofsted. My colleagues were, some of them, being far from supportive. And I'd also just found out that something quite significant wasn't going my way. What that kind of translates to is that a young person and their family were not going to be getting the kind of support that they needed. And that really pissed me off. I had this pounding headache, like a real tension headache. I could just feel it across my forehead, and I needed to go to the shops to get a few last minute bits. I just paused in the car for a few minutes, really trying to psych myself up to be able to get out the car to go into the shops. I must have sat there for 5-10 minutes just dreading the experience. So I got out of the car and I walked towards the front of the store, and there are loads of people walking by. Everyone is rushing. Everyone looks kind of stressed. I thought, I'm just going to keep my head down. Everything is so bright. I just need to get this over with. And out the corner of my eye, I could see this man looking at me. And I sort of glanced upwards and could see that he was quite dishevelled, sort of limping. And I looked back down again and I thought, I can't deal with this right now. There are so many other people walking by. I was carrying so much in my head that I thought if somebody talks to me, I'm just gonna kind of crumble. So I kind of kept looking down and I sort of was saying in my head, not today, not now, somebody else, please. And it was this weird moment of almost hearing the universe sort of say to me, yesterday, yes now, there's nobody else. He was smiling, he had this kind of broad smile that was completely inoffensive, and he just said, hello, I don't suppose I could stop you for a minute. I know everybody's really, really busy, but I need a little bit of help. I don't have an ice scraper, so I'm probably just gonna have to wait now. So I've just collected another 4 food parcels. It's Sunday morning. It's a bit drizzly. It's a miserable day. So it's kind of the ideal day to be spreading some joy, spreading some cheer. So I've got all the addresses. I just need to figure out the best order to sort of take them in. I don't really know the area too well, but I'll figure it out. That's what Google Maps was made for. So that's that one done, and now we're on to the next one. I want to show people that you can make a tiny bit of difference to somebody else really, really easily. This is costing me probably no more than £6 in petrol and a couple of hours of my time, and that's nothing. And I could feel myself being a little bit defensive straight away and kind of wanting him to kind of go away, but it's not in me to respond in a kind of a dismissive way. So I kind of stopped and just said, yeah, how can I help you? And he said, look, I don't want to ask you for any cash, but I am struggling. I'm going to be spending Christmas on my own, and I would really like to cook myself a nice meal. Could you please buy me a few ingredients? He said, how's your day been? I said, let's not go there. I don't want to talk about my day. How's yours been? Tell me about you. He said, same day as any other day. Every day is the same. And he had this kind of sad look on his face. And I just thought, here we go. So I said, come on then, let's go get this shopping. I've got a few bits to get. I'll get a basket. We can walk around together. And that's what we did. And we kind of were making conversation as we walked around. And I don't think it was conscious at the time, but I could feel after sort of being there 5-10 minutes that I felt much lighter. After sort of 20 minutes, I realised that I was having a laugh with this man. We were having quite a good time. And he was so softly spoken. He was so warm. He asked a lot of questions. And there was nothing about him that put me on edge at all. I'm the kind of person that when I meet somebody like this man, I try and be helpful. I end up making friends with people. We exchange numbers and, we will meet up. But there wasn't that kind of pull this time. So we went outside. I wished him a Merry Christmas. I said I hoped that he had the meal that he was hoping for, and that I hoped that he had kind of some bright and positive things in his future and the new year. And that was kind of as much thought as I gave that experience. So that is all of the food packages loaded up into the car, ready to go. I've got a few addresses now, so we're just gonna have a little drive around, find those addresses, go and drop them off to these people. They're lovely, lovely people. People I've met before who are just so gracious and so kind and considerate of others, and could maybe use a little bit of relief at this point in the year. So let's head out and just see again if we can spread a little bit of cheer, perhaps. Who knows? Fingers crossed. I hope so. And I think probably like 8 or 9 months must have passed. And I was scrolling through Facebook one day and I saw a post by one of the sort of local police services. This post stopped me. And I looked. There's no photo or anything. And it just said, police are investigating the death of a man. And it was quite a violent death in quite a public place. And I had this feeling. It was like being pulled and grounded all of a sudden, like wherever my consciousness is in that moment, it's being pulled back down to the ground. I knew that the victim was this man. I felt a real sadness, like a grief. And so I kind of held on to that feeling for a couple of days, and it just happened that I went back on Facebook again, and it probably subconsciously looking for an update, and I could see that a relative had written sort of an obituary style post. There was a photo, and it was definitely this man. I had floods of people saying how wonderful he was, how lovely he was, and I felt compelled to write a comment. It kind of in the hopes that his family might see, and to kind of share my experience with them, an experience that was one that just I had with him. It was just us. It was quite private, I suppose. And to kind of explain how I went into that experience feeling and how I came out of it feeling, because I certainly felt so much lighter. It was like night and day. My problems hadn't gone away, but I certainly felt like I'd been heard, like I existed, and like my problems weren't the biggest thing in the world, they just were meaningless all of a sudden. And I was able to kind of go into that like holiday period without all of that in my head somehow. And it was a gift, really, this exchange that I had with this man. And so I posted that on there. And so it's been 2 years. And I thought about this man quite a lot. And only today, a little while ago, did I realise that was his last Christmas. And he was spending it on his own. And I had shopped with him for the food that he was going to eat on his last Christmas. And neither of us knew it was his last Christmas. I feel grateful that that's the experience I got to have with him. And I don't think that experience would have changed had I known. Right, I'm taking you with me to go and deliver one of these food parcels to a very special lady who just absolutely deserves so much good in this world.
Hello.
I just had something to bring round for you. Deliver it myself. Such an angel. You know, the impact and the weight behind the decisions that we make can be profound, just immense. It's an inconceivable magnitude, really, when we think about it. It's endless. Something that I do tomorrow could have an impact for somebody, you know, generations down the line.
Oh, I love vanilla latte. Oh my goodness. Oh,
And I just think it's an
wow.
incredibly powerful thing.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have a tuna, lovely. No, these are all. God, this is a bit. Are you sure this is not? This is all my favourite things. This is all my favourite things.
So when we have a choice to be kind or to not be, and we let ourselves become overcome by our minds, our consciousness, our ego, all of that, we take our feelings out on other people, or we can just remember that we are incredibly powerful droplets that can do a world of good. And it's just as easy as doing the opposite.
Oh my God, I love macaroni. Please. Yeah. Oh my God, no, these are all pasta. Oh, these, yeah. Oh my God. Rice pudding with strawberry jam. Oh, I'm so old school. Oh my goodness, custard creams. Oh, this is amazing. Oh, this is the best.